Hi all, Lee the Drum here. My brothers have asked me to do a little review and touch base with you on the Natal Café Racer. One of the questions we had when it first came in was, where does the Café Racer fit in the range of Natal drums? Because you can also get a kit that looks very similar to this, and it is the Natal Maple range. So how does that fit? Well, the first range that you would have with Natal really is the Acadia drum kit. That's made of a poplar wood, solid little drum kit, but that is more of an entry setup. You go slightly off to the side with Natal then, because they make a really lovely seamless acrylic drum kit as well. And you can see some of the pictures here. Now that's a different style. That's more of a punchy, sharp rock kit. So then we come into the Café Racer and the Maple. So I thought it was Café Racer at first when I first looked at Natal, and then the Maple, but actually they're more like cousins. It's more of a flavor or a personal choice that you would make. So they both are 7-ply timbers, and they both have 45-degree bedding edges, and they both pretty much have all the same fittings, the same quality of build, same thickness, and so on. So you've got a birch and elm or an all maple. So the all maple gives you, according to Natal, they feel that gives you a sort of more mid to brighter tones, especially with a bedding edge. They feel that that's the way that that leans, whereas this is a slightly, if you like, warmer, darker, with a little bit more sustain on there. It's, you know, they're all very, very close because drums are drums. And it's what drum heads you put on there, it's how you play. But there is that feel about this, and if a drum kit makes you feel good, then that's the kit for you. This definitely has that warmth. It almost sounds like the look of that darker look, you know, so it sort of fits with the wood. They all come with a lacquer finish, which is really sweet. Again, hence that cousins to the Maple. It's not that these have got a thin, cheap wrap on them, and the Maple is lacquer. They both are of the same build quality. So you've got a lacquered finish, beautiful grains on the woods, and you're going to have various colors. This is a 22-inch with a 12 and a 16, but you can have from Natal through us, and if you'd like to look at Natal drums, please consider us on our shop. Look, there it is, over there, Cariad. We've got the links below, and you can pick up on the range, email us, and we can advise you on them, and you can choose different colors and different configurations. So you could order from us, you know, an 8, 10, 12, sort of 13, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 bass drums, whatever you want. And we've got some of that coming in, of these wild configurations on the way. You might even be watching this video further down the line, and they're already on the website. So check the website out. So going back to the kit, they all come with these really pretty sun embroidered lugs. Some people say they're a little like the DW lugs, but I think they're slightly prettier because you've got this little sun ray, and it's also on all of the badges as well. Really pretty there. And they all come with rubber backing or rubber insulator, so that when these are pinched up, there's no way will they crack or damage the lacquer underneath. But you've got rubber inserts on there, you've got rubber behind the badge, behind the spurs, behind the claws for the hoops, so everywhere. So it's a nice insulation or insulator away from the metal work. Triple flange hoops. The tom holder comes with a knurled nut on the one side, the wing nut on the other. Pretty looking wing nuts with the logos on, really nice. I really like the shape of these, and I like the fact that in there is a aluminium ball joint, or aluminum if you're in America. In the UK we say aluminium, and that's a ball joint rather than the plastic ball joints that come with most. So solid, really will last a long time. And then this little baby, the mount to the tom, if you look at that, it does have flex, but it's just a nice amount of flex. It's not loose. Like if you look at a lot of the old drum kits, especially in the 60s and that, they were just flopping and hanging. So when you're playing the things, sometimes they'd be bouncing. So that's really solid with a nice decent clamp on them. They come with what they call a true tune tension rod. What I will say is when you do tension these up, they've got a nice smooth feel to them. They don't feel like they're grinding, and they don't undo very easy. So yes, you could say it's a true tune. So you can balance that pretty precise as you're tensioning up your drum heads. And I found through playing quite a bit on this kit that they are not then having wrinkles on the drum head, so they're not undoing as you're playing the kit. What I would suggest is with any of this range or the maple range is to replace the drum heads. They're an Evans G2 coated, but they don't feel the same quality as a standard Evans. So I don't know whether they're just made in a different factory, but they don't feel as nice. I prefer to flip them over, put two G2 clears on the top and G1 clears on the bottom, or if you're a remote type person, flip over to something like an Emperor. And we found that putting the Emperors on and balancing it was really sweet in sound. So on the floor tom, actually, because we did another video, which we'd like you to check out if you could, we did another video and that's got G2s on the top. The other video was about comparison to the old version of the Café Racer to the new version. So this is a birch and elm, as I mentioned, but the old version was a tulip wood. And for sustainability reasons, they moved over. So check my other video out in the channel and it'll show you where there's a difference in the sound between the two kits. Beautiful looking kit, really sweet, super solid, very trendy indeed. A lot of people are really into Natal now. We find a lot of people locally, a lot of young drummers are really into them. Great price point, solidly built, can't fault it. Get yourself one of these in the link below and just go and enjoy drums.